Hello and welcome to my fifth video in this series of presentations, Talent Pathways 2072. Today we're going to be looking at a biological phenomenon, Kenyan runners. Have you ever wondered why Kenya produce some of the best long distance runners in the world, the Pacific Islands produce exceptional rugby players, or why some of the most elite sprinters come from Jamaica? These are just some examples of biological phenomenons in the sporting world. And today we're going to delve into what makes Kenyan runners so elite, whether it's coincidence or biological. Some of the best long-distance runners in history have come from Kenya, Eliud Kipchoge and Vivian Cheruiyot to name a couple. These individuals have both dominated competitive long-distance running in their respective races, with both seemingly impossible to beat. The Kenyans appear to specifically excel within marathon running, 26.2 miles. Astonishingly, the last 6 world record holders for the best male marathon time are all Kenyan, the most recent record being set on the 8th of October 2023 by Kelvin Kiptum with a fantastic time of 2 hours 35 seconds. That equates to 4 minutes 36 seconds mile pace. Kipchoge has run a sub 2 hour marathon, however it wasn't IAAF accredited due to certain factors which aided the athlete. But why? What makes the Kenyan athletes so elite when it comes to running? That's what we're going to try and find out today. One scientific explanation is that Kenya is set in a high altitude. They're living and training at much higher altitudes than athletes from other countries, approximately around 8,000 feet above sea level. This could improve the athlete's aerobic endurance, as higher altitudes allow them to acquire more red blood cells, so they can therefore carry more oxygen in their blood. This would allow them to get oxygen to their muscles much more efficiently, therefore improving aerobic endurance. However, there are many other explanations and theories as to why Kenyans excel so highly. One outstanding fact is that many of the medal-winning record-breaking Kenyan runners actually come from the same region of Kenya, the Rift Valley, even more specifically Iten, which is a small town in rural Kenya. Iten is famous for its runners, often being referred to as the home of champions. The town is famous for its running camps and the tricky terrain on which individuals such as Kipchoge train on. 81 of the world's fastest 100 marathon men in 2011 were Kenyan, most of them coming from a 50-mile radius of Iten. So, could location be a factor in the success? If most medal winners are coming from the same area, surely this is an important factor. Iten's harsh terrains and high altitude will definitely contribute to the success of its runners, but having so many success stories from the town must definitely be a factor. For example, a young child growing up in the town will be surrounded by the rich history and culture of running. This could motivate and inspire them to join the legacy. Growing up and around all of that success would definitely be enough to inspire the next generation of runners. Also, to link back to the previous factor of high altitude, the Rift Valley is set at around 7,000 feet above sea level, so as previously mentioned, this would give the citizens of the Rift Valley that advantage of training at a higher altitude, so when it comes to racing at lower altitude, they will have lungs adapted to the thinner air, making their lungs much better functioning at sea level. Looking at all these factors, Iten and the Rift Valley appear to be the ideal hotspot for producing runners. Another factor in the running success of Kenya could be due to economic motivation. In 2022, over 7.8 million people in Kenya lived in extreme poverty, and with the overall population of Kenya being 53.1 million people, this means that 14.71% of the population lived in extreme poverty. Understandably, this will give those living in such conditions a desire and a drive to get out of their dire economic situation and make money. With the education system in Kenya being poor compared to other countries, for children growing up in Kenya, getting a good job through education is often very challenging. In a study conducted by Jarvie and Sykes 2012, 250 elite female Kenyan athletes between the ages of 12 and 50 were asked what motivated them to run, and the majority at 49.2% said that money was their main motivation. So, this is why so many of them turn to running. They're good at it, it costs nothing to run, and it gives them a chance to make a living by becoming a professional athlete so they can leave their previous life of poverty behind. To conclude, we have taken a look at some of the many factors which could explain why Kenyans are so good at running, both biological and social factors. In my next presentation, we will be taking a look at talent transfer. Thank you for watching. And here is my reference list. Thank you again for watching.